So we just drove up here to Phoenix to pick up a 1946 International. We got to dig it out of the desert. She's been sitting since the 70s. This gentleman that has it, his father owned it, bought it from a government auction in 1952 and used it on their farm, and it sat since the 70s, so that's 50 years. And you can tell from where it's sitting. Let me show you. She's been buried for a long time. This has been buried so long, the city's grown up around it. Look at those brand new apartments across the street. It's like this property here is like frozen in time. Alright, got no bottom half. Gas tank, nowhere to be found. Alright. Got a steering wheel. I think this is a 3-speed. That's froze up. Oh, brother. She's froze. Let's see the clutch. We got a little bit of clutch going on. Let's check the brake. Brakes are froze up. Look at the floors. Floors are solid. Floors are actually there. 43,000. They have a tractor here today, so we'll be able to get this out without having to unhook our truck and trailer, which is awesome. Tractor will make this go a lot easier. She's got some pretty significant dentilation. Headlight bezel. Grill. She's been hit a little bit. So this is the certificate he got from the auction house when he bought this in 1952. 31st day of March, 1952, in Glendale, Arizona. So this truck has been here all its life. Yeah, the Department of Interior.
Maybe he can come up with that backhoe and just lift it up out of the hole.
Is that a hubcap? Oh, that makes the whole deal. We're not taking it off the trailer right now because, you know, 3 out of 4 of these wheels don't turn. So what we'll have to do is jack it up, get the wheels off, get the tires off, get all the, you know, the wheels unstuck. We'll have to get some different rims because some of these rims, the back rim is rotted completely through, and the other ones, the lips of them are rusted out, being sunk in the dirt, you know, for 50 years. So we can't use the rim. So we at least need to make it a roller so we can get it off the trailer, and we're going to see what the condition of the engine is, and we're going to make it run and make it drive and make it stop. That's the goal. We're going to make it run, drive, and stop. Missing a radiator. That's not a big deal. We don't need that to start it. Got spark plugs. This cross member right here is supposed to be folded down and hooked somewhere around here, but they took it off and folded it up, probably because it got hit right here. We got no carburetor, so we're going to have to find one, locate one. We got plug wires. I'm sure we got a 6-volt coil there. All the spark plugs have been sitting in it. Hopefully, motor's not locked up. This thing's been sitting with an open carb, open intake for 50 years. I can't see this thing turning over without a fight, to tell you the truth. Got our old generator. Got some cut wires. Well, it doesn't matter anyway. We're not going to be using any of this. It's not gonna work. Sure. Fuel line. Got your vacuum advance, and then this choke. Or no, that might have been throttle. This might have been choke. Those cables that lead inside there. We got lots of cobwebs, lots of spider friends. Voltage regulator. Nice. All right, well, let's dig into it. I think it's about 99% locked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just cranking the fan. Oh my gosh.
What?
That crank is turning.
No.
You see that?
There's no way.
See it? I gotta tell you, I can't believe that.
No. No. She's a runner.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe it. Uh-oh.
Did it not turn all the way over?
Yeah.
It did or didn't?
Well, it stopped.
That's not
There
good.
we go, there we go.
Here, let's just go ahead and douse it. Look down into that intake and see if there's any dirt down it. I mean, that's impossible. I'm surprised.
Gosh.
I am surprised.
I haven't even checked the oil on this thing. Woo! It's got some oil. You guys see that? You smell any gas in there or no?
No, it's just extremely old oil.
Yeah.
Extremely old.
It's probably.
I mean, it smells old.
Some vehicles didn't even have oil filters. Cloth wrapped wires. We got spark plug wires. We got a distributor. We got. What is that? Oh, there's your. I think that's your vacuum advance down there. We're gonna go ahead and move this truck underneath this tree because we don't have anywhere to put it in the shade. We can't get it off of the trailer, and it's over 100 degrees in the sun. It just kills you. I'm not going to pressure wash the whole thing right now, just the engine bay, because there's so much dirt and stuff caked around the intake, the exhaust, and especially the spark plug holes. Whenever you go to take those plugs out, you don't want dirt falling down into the cylinder. So we're just going to clean off the engine bay so we can get down in here. Dad has a couple of single barrel Chevy carburetors. We put them on there and the bolts don't match up. It's too wide. So we put our feelers out there. We called a couple friends we knew. We think we might have located a carburetor, so we're going to go there and pick that up. And, we measured it, so we think it's going to work, maybe. That it?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what it said.
There's not a second one in there, right? That is the right one, and we
think
picked up
it'll
the
work?
wrong one.
It says Ford.
I don't know. We just picked some random guy's trailer to walk into. Is it right? Sweet.
Almost the right.
Fuel line will hook up. What about the vacuum advance? Does that go right there?
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Throttle and choke cables can hook up to here. All right.
49 to 51.
49 to 51, what?
It says Ron sent me a listing for them.
For what?
The carburetors for a Ford.
Oh, the rebuild kits?
No, just to find out what it is.
Uh-huh.
So that 8VA carburetor.
Spark plugs look a little fouled up, though. I don't know. Yeah. Well, it could be evidence as to what was going on at the time of,
Separation.
At the time of separation.
Okay, so there's a 7/8A.
Yeah, these things are fouled up.
It's alright.
I'll try not to.
It's somewhere around like a 40. It says 47 to 51 Ford.
Well, we got a natural funnel right in the head there. See that spline right there? That's for a hand crank when you used to put the tool in there and turn it by hand. And lo and behold, I was searching in the truck. Here's the tool to turn it by hand. So we're actually going to use that thing.
Fit to the kit, so.
Gosh. So this belt is loose and it keeps slipping. See that? I'm going to unloosen the bolt on that generator, pry it out, tighten it up, tighten that up so I don't have to keep pressing on it with my finger. And you guys are not going to believe what I just saw. I swear to you, I saw a scorpion crawl out of that cylinder hole and go in that back one. I don't know how we're going to get that scorpion out. Maybe if I turn the engine over, it might crawl out. But I'm telling you, it went in number 6 cylinder hole, a scorpion. You guys got to keep an eye out for him. If I turn this engine over, hopefully that thing gets out of there. Where's my ratchet? Where's my ratchet? I just had it. Oh.
See, that thing still may be in gear, and even though you're turning it like that, it's still, the clutch has probably got a bunch of dirt on it, and it's still getting caught.
That's better. I might be able to turn it over now. There it is. There it is. There that thing is. I gotta get some brake cleaner to spray on that thing. My 1/2 inch dropped. There it is. You see it? I'm not sure if the motor's not turning over all the way because it might be in gear. You see me pushing this clutch pedal. The clutch fork is moving. Got the gear selector kind of unstuck. But we're just not really sure when it's in neutral.
Alright, lift up on it. I'm trying to.
I'm trying to lift up on it. There we go.
Oh, I see. It's meant to pull that cable.
It's not, I mean, I'm moving it, but it's not moving the cable or anything.
See what's in there.
Maybe there's some adjustment somewhere. So when you move this, it moves on the transmission. When you pull this way, that is supposed to engage somehow. We got to get it unstuck because we don't know if it's in neutral. We don't know if the motor's not going a full revolution because it's in gear. It's working now. Gear, neutral, not sure which gear. Another gear, probably reverse. Did you try and grease something underneath?
I greased that shifter.
If you guys don't have a locking grease attachment on your grease gun, you're missing out. I bought this thing and it's been a lifesaver. I love it.
Alright, hold on. Let me just push this clutch in. Alright.
It's hitting something hard, so I'm going backwards with it. That is a hard hit on something. We'll go forward. There's another hard hit. In order to get leverage from a different angle, I'm going to take the flywheel cover off, get a pry bar under here, pry on the flywheel, and see if we can't knock it loose. Now that we can get to that flywheel, maybe I can pry it. Maybe if I don't know if it's on a rust spot, if we can get past it. Oh, it's hard. Alright. Oh, I think we got past it. Okay. Whew! Okay.
I'm just going to cut those wires. I'm just going to cut them, okay?
You're gonna cut what wires?
The wires.
Oh, going. Okay.
I'm just going to cut them.
We can't use them anyway. So, do I hook up the ground to the negative or the positive?
Yeah, just hook it up negative, negative, and positive, positive. Starter don't care.
Well, there you go.
Well, hopefully it'll crank over. Sure enough.
Oh, did you hear it?
What?
The battery?
Press it down.
Oop, there it went. Pouring a little more marble in there for good luck.
Real good. 80. Smoke coming out of the cylinder. That's even better. Not too good.
What was that?
It's cranking 25. Yeah, that one hit 60.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, be alright. That one hit. That one hit 40.
Oh, it's not too good.
Alright, go ahead. Alright. That's good. That one got 60.
Okay, alright, well, 2, probably 3 cylinders now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that one was going up to 80.
Good. This is a spark plug cleaner and tester.
Go ahead. Alright, we ain't getting this part. Whoa, shut that off, pull the wire.
I did.
Alright, go ahead.
sparking at the plug?
Yeah. All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
And decided to go ahead and rebuild the carburetor. We have it apart, and we've had it soaking in carb cleaner overnight. We heard it get pretty flighty yesterday. We're pretty sure it's going to run. It's got decent enough compression to go. As we were pouring gas down it yesterday, the gas was just leaking all over the place. I mean, the gaskets are completely shot. So we'll throw a rebuild kit in it, clean it out, make sure all the passages aren't blocked off, and we'll try it again. Brand new seat. She's back on there. You want me to try it again?
Yeah.
All right. We're getting a lot of fire out of the exhaust. Oh, yes. Yes.
You like that? Not on fire, is it? Go ahead.
Well, you guys heard it run, and you heard that last little bit there. It was actually running really good. No clatters, no clanks, no rods knocking. It ran very smooth. We had to cut it off because we don't have a radiator for it. We're going to try and get some wheel cylinder kits, a master cylinder kit, brake hoses. So let's go ahead and we'll start popping these hubs off and see what they look like. Oh, left-hand thread. Good thing I didn't blast that with an impact then. See what I'm talking about? There ain't even a lug nut to take off.
Trying to salvage anything that's inside there that's salvageable without breaking. You're hitting them threads.
Yeesh. We got wheel cylinder, we got some springs, we got the anchor down here at the bottom. These all look salvageable, so not bad. Wanted to figure out what kind of parts were inside it, so to buy us some time to locate some of the brake parts, we're going to do the first wash in 50 years. And I'm also going to show you, I'm going to work on this door here. The door linkage and the window linkage is frozen solid with rust. The window goes in and out, you know, for ventilation. Not like the front window's broke, you're going to get a draft anyway. But it's just out of principle. I want the front window to work. I think it's cool. So I'm going to throw some clips in there of me working on that. So let's fire up the pressure washer and get going. This door handle is stuck. This is supposed to move. And then this is barely going up and down. So we're going to see what we can do to get it unstuck. Maybe. If I can even get the bolts off. But which is pretty disintegrated now. Maybe this will help. Maybe it might fall down on that linkage. Oh yeah, baby. Just like brand new. I want to get it down in this area so I can lubricate it even better. This linkage is so bad. Look at that rust. And check out the door. Alright. Ready? Alright, it's moving a little bit. Gonna have to continue to work it. This window frame comes out at the bottom. When you crank this, and obviously it's stuck, so you come underneath the dash. I can show you. So you see that threaded, or that sprung rod? It comes down, and these go to the window. There's linkage on the other side that goes to the other window. So we'll have to lubricate that. We'll have to lubricate over there. We'll have to lubricate this. This is your cowl vent. We'll lubricate that, make that work easier. Can of marvel. Let that soak. It'll work like brand new. If you guys see that threaded rod turning, it's moving that block up and down, but it's not moving the window. It's sat overnight. We got some door latch action. So let's just see if she'll close. All right, all right.
Pretty handy.
Huh. Nice.
Actually, it's got more torque than what you think it does. Oh, it went? It went. I can't believe that. Just see if it'll pop off.
That's an awesome tool.
Yeah, that's the only way you're getting that over there.
All right. Back brakes look beautiful. That looks beautiful. That's awesome. A lot of cobwebs. Ooh, it's a dead scorpion. Looks like water. Oh man. That's not good. That's exactly what you want to see. I'm going to take one of the wheel cylinders off in the front, one of the wheel cylinders off in the back, so we know what size they are to get the right wheel cylinder kits. And I want to take one hose off in the front and then the rear brake hose off so we can know what the right size hoses we need. It's just going to unscrew. Oh my gosh, did you see that?
What?
Did you see how that came apart? The brake fluid is so old in here, it came off like glue, like it stretched. We needed shoes, so we went over to a buddy's house and he had tons of sets of the same shoes that we needed. My phone died right as I was making that video. We were at a guy's house who had some brake parts that we needed. Somebody in the comments, I can't remember, I might throw it right here, I'll go find the comment, but he said that the brakes are the same as a 1940 Ford. Well, it turns out that guy was correct, and we called a guy who knew a guy in Tucson, and he had a lot of 1940 Ford brake parts. We were going to reuse the shoes because the shoe linings look beautiful. Look at this. It's actually not worn out. The problem is it's rusted out. The actual hardware is rusted out. We can't reuse that. So he had some used brakes, and the hardware and the shoe lining is actually good enough to use. So this guy was nice enough to give us these, and that's for 2 sets because 2 sets of our hardware is rusted out. So that will get our shoe linings going. Now the backing plate on this one is rusted out. This is the only wheel where the backing plate is rusted out, and it's a structural problem because this right here anchors these shoes. And we got this 1940 Ford backing plate, the same guy we got the shoe linings from, and it doesn't fit. So we're having a problem finding a backing plate. I'm in contact with a couple of people who have commented on my videos from TikTok and some previous YouTube videos I made on this truck, and they say they might have some parts. So I'm hoping by the end of this video we can get that squared away. We're also looking for some rims. But in the interim, we already ordered the hoses, the wheel cylinder kits, and the master cylinder kit. While we're waiting on those to come in, I'm going to go ahead and bust off the master cylinder and the wheel cylinders and hone them out and get them ready for the rebuild kit, so when they come in, that time will have already been spent. We can slam the new kits in without having to do all this work. Uh-oh. Brake hose isn't wanting to come off the back. There's 3 bolts that hold the wheel cylinder on the back. Yeah. Nice and easy. Here's something actually kind of interesting about these wheel cylinders. See how one's a different size than the other? One bore is 1 inch, one is 1 1/4. Usually it's one same size. I've never actually seen this before. Sorry, there's a woodpecker going on in the background. Absolutely petrified. There's nothing left. You couldn't have bled these. I'm hoping I can pound this smaller cup down through the bigger cup. Yeah, but I don't know. I just hope I don't break anything. I mean, they're frozen in there. I don't see anything moving. Little bloop 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 bloop. Oh, shit. Hold on. Yeah. Damn. Man alive. That's rough. Yeah, where'd everything go?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, anyway. Oh gosh. It's going. That's the number 4. Dad's going to soak these wheel cylinders in gasoline to get them cleaned up, get all the grease off so we can hone them. And I'm going to go ahead and take the master cylinder off. It's down in there. See where that rod leads? Down there, that's the master cylinder. I'm probably going to have to get to it from the bottom. I don't know how it's held on there.
Be careful, there may still be something alive, so
Yeah.
I don't think.
This is the master. So it's kind of hard to see down here, so I might just take it off and show you afterwards. Curious to see what it looks like in here. Oh, let's try this again. Oh man, that's not good. Oh, had to get some vices on there. She's loose now. Wow, literally bone dry. Not even any sludge in there. Holy crap. That's almost like nice. This is the brake switch. This is the pressure switch. Whenever you hit your brakes, this circuit will close and turn your brake lights on. Alright. Ooh.
Yeah, that's good, that's good.
That hone just cleans that cylinder wall out of any rust and pitting. Pitting is what you're really worried about because the fluid can get past.
Pull me a little bit more there.
Okay. Look at that, nice clean cylinder. Might hit it one more time, but that's what you want to see. Nice smooth cylinder. See when you're honing these, see all that black right there that's left over? That's pitting. You want to get as much of that out as possible. That's possible leak areas. Here's what the other side looks like before we hone it. Pretty nasty. Look at that. That is brand new, baby. I went ahead and I was going to change the oil filter, so I took the cap off and it's dry in there. And not only that, we pulled this out, and you're saying, all right, well, you pulled out an oil filter, but it's dry. We ran this motor in the last video for quite a while, and this thing is bone dry. It actually looks like you could use it again. That means there was no oil circulating in that canister. So that means we don't have oil pressure, or there was a line plugged. So we went ahead and we took off the return line, and then the pressure line goes underneath there, and it goes to the block over here. That's where the oil pressure comes out to go to the canister. We go on ahead and took the line off there, and we cranked it, and oil did come out on the ground. You can see where it's separating from the water. So the line was plugged. It does have oil pressure, which is a good sign. So I knew it had oil pressure. We can move forward. I went ahead and got this universal oil line. I'm going to fit some barbs on there. You can screw them in, like it's like 1/4 inch, and they have like a barb where you can push this on, and that's your line. And got one for the block and the canister. The return line is actually reusable. This is not under pressure, it's just a return line. So we'll just put this back on. Got ourselves an oil filter, and I got a coil because this 12-volt coil started leaking oil. It just gave out, you know. So we got another coil we'll put on there. We're putting the low pressure return line back on. Hopefully it fits, I don't even know. Let's see. Look at you go. Goes a little far in there, but no, I don't know how to get it out. Yeah. She's black. She's black oil. Let that drip out for a while as much as we can. Let's see, we've got to get a rag.
They work good.
So we got some more stuff on our engine checklist checked off. Oil change, oil filter, oil lines, the other coil put on there. And in the meantime of doing all of this, our brake parts decided to show up, so we'll deal with some of that now. So we finally got the master cylinder kit in the mail. Got everything out on the operating table here. I got all the old parts laying right here. They gave us a new one of these. Looks like it's a pretty good kit. Gave us a new spring. So I'm thinking this is going to work. Got our book out just to see, make sure we're putting it together right. We're pretty confident, but you always want to double check before you take something apart twice. You want to assemble it with a little bit of brake fluid to help lubricate everything. And don't use oil, right? Don't use oil.
Yeah, no oil.
Use brake fluid.
Yeah.
Because the oil will swell those seals up. There's a bar that comes out, and when you press the brake, the master cylinder depresses. It should come back. Yeah. So we'll have to tighten up that big nut. It has a copper washer on it that seals it so brake fluid doesn't get out. Then the last bit is this dust boot. It doesn't seal any brake fluid, it's just a dust boot so dust doesn't get in there. Like a band that holds it on?
Yeah.
Does it lock?
It just sits there with tension on this to keep it from.
So I got my line wrenches, got the master. Goes way up in that hole. I don't think I can take you guys with me while I put it up in there. I'll just have to do it, but she'll work again. That means she'll work again. So we finally got this drain plug loose underneath here. Remember there was a bunch of water that came out. This thing was literally full of water, so we're going to try and drain everything out of there so we can at least put some gear oil in there, even if it leaks a little bit, just so we can drive it. You just don't want water in there. Nothing?
Where was that water coming from that was...
That's weird, yeah.
Oh, I know.
What?
I know. Give me a stick. That's what the deal is. Oh, God. Ready?
Yeah. Is it just sludge? Oh. Gosh.
Look how nice that water looks.
Yeah, you can almost drink it.
Look how clear it is.
I guess the only good news is we got the rear brake hose on. That's brand new. Got this brake hose on. Got the other brake hose on. And if you can see in here, got the master cylinder on. That's the master. Wheel cylinder kit should be coming in today, I think. Then we can get those rebuilt. That won't take no time at all. And then we can put them on there. And then it's just rims, really. Speaking of rims, we brought our hub over to our buddy's house because he thinks he might have a set of rims that might fit. And he's always building cool stuff. Been a good friend for a long time. And these are the rims in question. He was just going to let us borrow them so we could get this truck off the trailer, but we got to see if they'll still fit. Set these on there and see if they fit. Uh-oh. That's not good at all. It's rubbing on the tie rod. So in the meantime of figuring out what we're going to do with those wheels and tires, our master cylinder kit came in. This is why it always pays to keep everything. These are the original springs, and if you see how they're smaller on one end and bigger on the other, on the kit they sent us, they're the same size. These ones won't even work anyways because this won't even fit in that cup. These ones will work, but we only have 2 of them. So we have all 4 of the originals, so we'll just use these springs. But this is really what we need. We need these cups to seal. When you're putting these cups inside the wheel cylinders, you can't just shove them in, because if you fold the lip over, shoving them in all fast, then fluid will get past. You have to make sure the entire circumference is all facing one direction. Sometimes you can get, hasty and overlook that. The same process for all 4. We already got this one done. Ready to go on the truck. Now we can finally go ahead and set these back on. Push in the front. She's on. All the bolts are tight. Got the line hooked up. Now to do the rest. So the front one has the hose, and it's has a copper washer. They didn't send the copper washer with it, so we're gonna reuse the old ones, which they're reusable usually. We got to screw the wheel cylinder on before we set it in there, because once we bolt it to the backing plate, we can't twist the hose to tighten it. And I know that if you've ever done brakes, you're saying, well, you're not supposed to reuse those copper washers. And I know they send new ones usually when you get brake hoses, because these copper washers, they're malleable. Whenever you tighten them, they smash into a certain kind of pattern, and it creates a seal, and whenever you go to put it on another one, it's already been smashed, and it won't create another seal with another mating surface. But what I've found is that I have put brand new copper washers on when they send the hoses, and no matter how tight I tighten them, they'll leak. And I've put the old copper washers back on like I just did right now, and they don't leak. I don't know if it's just, you know, the quality of how it was built or what. That hammer, you get those all off. I ended up having to set the camera down so that I could punch that out of there when he heated it up. So we did get it out. The entire driver's side of the brakes was just a complete mess, including this entire hub and drums. One of the studs was completely rusted, and the other one I tore up, but we have to replace a couple of these studs. It's pushing the whole thing out.
Smack it. Be careful.
Whew. Nice. Fits like a glove. I won't tighten this up yet until we're ready. Alright, update on the driver's side hub. This was the bad one. So we're going to reuse this backing plate because honestly we just cannot find another one. And it's rusted out there, but this, where the anchors bolt to, is fine. So we're going to use that. Anybody else would say it's not salvageable, and I would agree, but it's all we got. It's all we got. There is no hub available. Look at that. This wheel wouldn't even turn before. The dust cap on. You want to put the fluid in just till you see it dripping out. Just like that. And that's it. So we're in decent shape. Now all we need is wheels and tires, and we can actually drive it. Alright. We got our brand new radiator in the mail. Look at that. It's even got the it's even got the holes in it for a tranny cooler. Look at that. That's amazing. I think it'll work. And an update on the brake front. So we got the master cylinder in, all the wheel cylinders, brake hoses, and we went ahead and bled the brakes. We don't have the tires to put on them, but we went ahead and adjusted them. It's ready for rims and tires. So we did find rims and tires. We searched high and low. we met up with some people from Facebook Marketplace, and we couldn't find the right rims. We were searching for days, actually weeks. We went to the junkyard. We found some rims that fit the bolt pattern, but the offset was too far in. It would have hit our control arm, and it would have hit the bed. It would have hit the back of the bed sides. We were driving in our neighborhood back home. Our neighbor had these rims sitting in his front yard, and we said, "What's your plans for these rims?" They were just sitting by his front gate. And we said, "We could use them on our truck. You know, what do you want to do with them?" He said, "You can take them." So we got rims and tires basically for free. And they all hold air except one, and we'll be able to put a tube in it. And I think these might be able to work. I mean, it was a total godsend. I mean, looking for rims for weeks, and there they were right in our backyard. The reason I'm taking these tires off the rims is because they sat so long with no air in them that they debeaded, and so much dirt and crap got in there that they won't seat right. When I filled them up with air, there was air coming out all around the bead. So I'm taking them apart. I'm going to take the rims and clean off the bead seat with a wire wheel, and so, you know, hopefully they seal right. Looking good, looking good. Oh yeah. Well, let's just say this. The look of the tires and rims follows the rest of the truck. It blends in, guys. It blends in, alright? That's the whole point. So, next obstacle. We need to take the thermostat housing off so that we can see what neck size it is. We'll take it with us when we go try and match up a hose. We also need to see if there's a thermostat in there, get the thermostat out, and also match up this bottom hose here so we can at least try and put some water in it and see what leaks, if anything. I'm sure that water pump is iffy at best. Wouldn't you know it? Brought ratchets and sockets all the way out here. Just need a wrench. Hold on. Oh, that wasn't bad. Wasn't bad at all.
That was going to be a lot worse.
Unless it rotted out completely, I don't even see a thermostat. Look at that. Look at all that.
I didn't even know they had these hose clamps in 46, to tell you the truth. Because ain't nobody in their right mind would put them on.
Did that hose clamp come loose?
Well, yeah, I told you it would.
Every time I use them, you always have to break them.
Because you didn't do it like that. You start bending and prying and beating and whipping.
I've never had that happen. They never do that. So we went to O'Reilly's just to look through their hoses. Thermostat housing on, hose on. We had to, hold on, get over here. These are just hoses that we got from AutoZone. We just kind of measured up and saw what would work. These aren't for this truck, for application. I had to cut it so that it would fit this bend here. It was too long. Put the hose clamps on it. Got the bottom hose on, hose clamps on it. We should be ready to put some water in here and see if this water pump leaks, if it holds water or whatever, you know. Look at that. All that nasty muck. It's actually not too bad now. Grease plug's leaking. Thing has a straight up hole in it. It's just sludge in there. We had to take the back one out too. I just stuck a screwdriver right through it, so we took it out. We'll have to just do the both of these. Got the freeze plug in. That's not paint, that's silicone. Got the back one in, pounded in, siliconed up so it doesn't leak.
Don't leak, then we'll put some drain and put distilled water in.
Yeah. Full?
Yeah.
good though. Man, that's smooth, isn't it? Look at that. Is that water cycling?
Yeah.
Look at that. That water pump is actually working and not leaking, maybe? I knew it. Oh well, it's not that bad. She's working. No way. I'd like to see this oil filter housing fill up with oil. I see smoke. While it's up on jack stands, you know, might as well try and see if it gets gears. And it gets 2 gears. I think it gets first and third, and for some reason we're not getting second and reverse. Brakes work. Oh my gosh, this freaking thing. The audio was so bad in this clip, I couldn't even subject you guys to it. I was going kind of fast, there was wind everywhere, the engine was going, there was beating and banging going on all over the place, but I just drove it a little bit around the neighborhood. How about that, huh? First time moving under our own power since the 1960s. So cool. Oh man, that thing is just so funny going down the road. I wish you could see it in person. It just looks so weird. Operate that window. We got the window working. In the last cleaning video, I was trying to get it working and I couldn't because it was so stuck. We wasted a whole can of PB Blaster on the top hinges. Look at it. Now she works. The truck looks a little bit wet. My dad decided to put this stuff called Flood on it. And it's basically just, it's kind of like a clear coat that you wipe on or brush on. It's not a spray. And it just really brings out the patina. That's all it does. I think it gives it a cool look. I think it enhances the patina. I think really that's the best paint job you could put on it for this kind of truck, tell you the truth. We slapped a few hubcaps on it. It's just kind of what we had. We didn't know if we liked them or not. We might take them off. We might leave them on. I don't know. What do you guys think? You like the hubcaps or not? Dad's going to drive it underneath that tree there so we can work in the shade. It's still getting into the 90s and even breaking 100 still, so we need this tree right now. Gets reverse and all the gears after sitting for 60 years. So to make things easy on ourselves, we're draining the water out of this radiator and we're going to just pull the radiator out. It's really Mr. Simpleton to get out of there. It's a couple bolts, a couple hoses, it just pulls right up. We got to be able to get a piece of wood in there, something straight, so we can pull at an even pace on that grill. Cool. I'm going to go put it over under the awning?
Yeah, just put it somewhere to where it's completely.
Oh.
Got filthy water. Yeah, just drain that water out of it. Not where we're working.
Sorry. That
All right, so you keep an eye on things, and if we need to move the chain, move it. I don't know, I got the brake on.
Pump it a little.
All right.
It's doing it.
Okay.
There we go. Come on. All right. Looking pretty straight. And now we can actually see a hood latch, and if you can believe it, look at that. We didn't even put any lube on that. All right, let's try. See how close this hood is. Look at that. The hood is like really close to latching, but the latch bolt is too far forward when it should be hitting the back of the latch, which is where it releases, so we'll have to figure that out later. Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Farther?
Yeah, a little bit. Alright, that's good. Oh, pff. It literally didn't do nothing. There you go.
Yeah. See?
We're a lot better now than where we started. It was popped out like a mountaintop. Now it's somewhat smooth. It's a lot better than what it was a few minutes ago. This one's okay for now. We're going to move on to the passenger side fender. This is the bad one. This is the worst panel on the whole truck. It's bashed in so bad it's got tears in the metal, not from rust, but from being hit. But look at that grill now from this angle. It's actually kind of straight. It was curved in like a U. What blows me away is those little running lights are still intact, and they're glass. Very shocked. So we beat it out some with the hammer. You can see now it's not as caved in as it was, but we still have a lot of work to do. So we're going to get this torch going and try and straighten out around this headlight, because we want to try and put a headlight in it. We're trying to get that crease out. See that big old crease?
Okay, yeah, the very top. Yeah. Wait, are you hitting it at the top? Yeah. 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 I like that. That's good. Where was you hitting that at?
I'll say with the ball peen at the top.
Yeah, I like that. That's the crease is starting to come out.
Top?
Yeah. It's busting the metal, but that's all right. All right. So now, as best you can, see if you can stick this in the corner, and let me hit it from out here. Right there. I got like. Yeah. More? A little bit more.
This one took a lot of work. We were going back and forth, hitting it from one side, hitting it from the other, heating it up, doing everything we could. Then it kind of started to sprinkle on us. You can see on the top of the fender it started to rain a little bit. We were trying to fit the bezel in there as we were hitting it, see how close we were. But even the bucket was bent along with the fender, so it took a while, but we managed it. Alright, so it is the next day. Let me show you guys what we did here. And like I said, rudimentary. I know we're not going for SEMA show quality here. We at least got the headlight bucket to fit in there. We couldn't even get to these screws. It was so pushed in. The screwdriver wouldn't even get here. So the headlight bucket actually kind of fits in there decent. And this is what I was really jonesing for. The hood actually latches. Nice, nice, nice. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, baby. That's all we need. We just want the hood to close and the radiator to fit. That's it. I mean, we could put an alternator on here and forego all the voltage regulator and generator business, but that's just not, it's just not cool. Another regulator and a generator on there just makes it more authentic, in my opinion. I mean, the radiator is already looks enough out of place. Fits right in the same spot. Look at that. There's one. So this is the original headlight bucket that went in there, but it's really bent up from when the truck got hit. So we have another headlight bucket sitting around from a 47 to 52 Chevy, and it will work, but we're going to have to straighten this out more for it to actually fit in there because that one's not bent.
All right, get over here. All right. It's fitting good around here and here. You can go a little bit higher right there, so this will slip in there.
Okay. The bucket's in there, halfway decent. It'll be enough to put some screws in and hold it in. Then we can actually mount a headlight in there. I just decided to pop the other one in. It's not permanent setup, but I just wanted to see what it looked like finally for the first time with headlights. Let's close this hood. Oh yeah, now it's starting to look like a truck. You know, without headlights, a vehicle looks soulless. Now it's looking like it's getting its soul back a little bit at a time. So this is the light switch, and I'm just gonna lube it down some. If I could get my PV blaster can to work. And I'm gonna go behind under the dash and lubricate that slide, because this is supposed to come out. You pull it out, but it's solid, and I don't want to break that knob, so I'm gonna get underneath there and lubricate it. I got a picture somewhere of me getting under the dash of my 1950 GMC when I was like 12, restoring it with my dad, and man, how it's gotten harder to get underneath.
all the wire cover falls off, and you can't use this, so you put heat shrink on it.
And that makes it where you can use that portion of the harness again.
Yeah. And then you just attach good wire to it.
I love heat shrink. That stuff is great. We got all our wiring out. We bought a couple rolls of wire. We have some old wire we've used on previous projects, and we're going to rewire these headlights. So we're going to run kind of a new loom through here and take all this out. I let this headlight switch set overnight, but it's not budging. And we might have to just get like a universal headlight switch for that, because I'm not really sure if that's savable. And then your dimmer switch, we lubricated this many times, and it's not budging whatsoever. And we have another one, so we're going to take this one out and put this one in it. This one will probably work. These things are really, really durable, so there you go. Ooh. Dang, that's a rough one. There you go. Nothing we can do with any of that. Passenger headlight loom ran here under the fender, comes out at the fender well, runs up through the core support, runs to the block. We'll wire up our other headlights. Now I'm moving on to the dimmer switch. You see how these holes are offset? They're not equal distant apart from each other. The headlight switch we're putting in it, well, the dimmer switch, the holes are different. So we got a step drill here. We're going to drill another hole for it so we can mount it. You can see I just drilled the hole, that third hole right there. You can see daylight coming through both holes. It's matched up. We'll be able to mount this dimmer switch, but it wouldn't be smart for me to mount it now because we have to hook all the wires to it and then mount it. So I'm coming back here and I'm doing the wiring loom for the headlights. We're using the original headlight connectors and wires. We're just putting new heat shrink over them so we can reuse them. Instead of buying a wiring harness, we're pretty much just making our own from scratch. So we ran them in the original spot through the inner fender and the radiator core support up here right in front of the radiator, and we'll just put them in the original spots because if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? We taped them all up just with black electrical tape so they look like they're all in one loom and halfway professionally done. I mean, that's how they did it back in the day. So I tried as much as I could to save the headlight switch. I lubricated it, waited overnight, tried to work it in and out, but it is so frozen solid shut. Pretty sure that the key is broke off inside of it. I'm 99% sure. It's not usable. We'll just put a universal one in it. They're like 13 bucks. This key's gonna have to come out. I think the key is broke off in there. Now, if you saw the wire loom on that housing had two wires, one would be for running lights, another would be for turn signals. And although this would be perfect for turn signals, this truck never came with turn signals. 1946, I guess they weren't mandated yet. So all it is running lights, one wire, but two wires are there for turning signals if you want to put some on in the future. Now I'm taking the other side off to put the housing in it and put the bulb in it and put it back together, and I'm trying to be very, very careful because if you can believe it, even though this grill got smashed in, the lenses survived. Those glass lenses, each of them have a crack in them, but they both survived. And there's nowhere else to find them if I break them. So, all right, now we have the trim and the glass inside the running lights on both sides. I'm just going to jump them to see if they work. Okay. Man, that's cool. I love that.
50 years.
Yeah, 50 years.
Lights are on.
That's sweet looking. Now that the running lights are in, the headlight buckets and the headlight holder, they're in, so we can mount the headlights, plug them in, and we can manually test them, like manually jump them to see if the headlights come on and work. And then we can run the wiring for the dimmer switch and the headlight switch.
Battery, you mean?
Yeah. So we got running lights. Low beams.
Dims. Brights. Dims.
Running lights.
Running light. Dims. Bright.
Love it. Well, the tail light / stoplight, and it was also the license plate holder. You can see here where they would have mounted the license plate. And here's your original wires. This isn't reusable whatsoever. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this reflector off and just mount some basic tail light stoplights to this. But it only had one light. There was not two stoplights. There was only one on this side. If you look underneath the truck, here's the original wires, right? There's no tee off to go over here. So we're going to go ahead and run new wires. Use the original routing to route them back to the front. We got these from our friend Jerry. He's really cool. He wasn't using these. These are 2-wire dual filament housings. And we didn't have to buy them new, and it's not that we didn't want to buy them, they just would look wrong, you know. I mean, a brand new square set of lights for this truck just wouldn't look right. So these ones have the right amount of sweat on them. They got some cool badging on them, stamping, Peterson's, pretty cool. So we're going to drill holes in these mounts because obviously can't mount them that way. We're going to drill some holes, mount them like that on either side. And we'll have tail lights and stop lights. Alright. Look at that. Might have to cut some of this off.
Well, we'll just do both these at the same time.
Okay.
We'll just leave that wire there.
Okay.
Just, you never know what anybody's going to do. You know, if you cut it out of there and you ever want to put in a signal on there, you ain't.
Tail lights are mounted, but connected. Looking good. We're about to try them just to see if they work. We'll tape these up and everything, but I just want to see if they work. Okay, try it. Yeah.
Alright, brake light. Hold on.
One goes out when you do that. So we actually had to unbolt this housing and grind some of this off so we could get a good ground to the body. Yeah. So now we're going to test it with the headlight switch. We got the battery hooked up. Okay.
Run light.
Yep.
Headlight.
Yep, headlights. This is a rebuilt generator. This is obviously the old one, but the belts are not the same. This is the normal style V belt. This was just like a really fat single big one. So we got to switch the pulleys.
Really shouldn't.
Alright.
We think?
Yeah. But first, we have to prep the truck to paint. To prep it for the clear coat, we're wire wheeling it. You can see all the rust flying off of it. All that dust, that isn't dust, that's rust just coming off in droves. That's why we're wearing masks and everything. We're just trying to get the flaky stuff off so that we can at least have a flat surface to put the clear coat on. And the stuff we're going to use to clear coat it, we're going to brush on, and it's called Flood. My dad got it at Home Depot. I know some people have suggested Poppy's Patina. I'm not sure where you buy it, maybe online, but And we're just going to use this stuff that we got from Home Depot for 10 bucks. And check out these white walls though. I use that bleach white cleaner and then I scrub it with emery cloth. Usually I use something with some hard bristles, but I only have this emery cloth right now. I just want to thank you guys. We just hit 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. That is such a cool milestone. Me and my dad really appreciate you guys watching and subscribing and liking these videos.
Nice thing about this is it'll, although it is, we know it's bare metal, it'll protect the bare metal. Nice. Linseed oil is good for that.
Yeah, that green's going to come out nice.
Yeah, the green. Make that running board look pretty.
And that's cool.
We're grabbing for everything we can get here. I can paint any car for $29.95.
That was Earl Scheib's line.
Yeah, Earl Scheib.
I wonder what kind of paint jobs you get back from him.
Oh, they're about like this.
This is good content right here. So it's the next day. We got it all cleared. It's kind of dried overnight. It looks pretty good. I'm happy with how it turned out. Look at that sheen. I like this whole scene right here. The fender and that white wall, the hubcap and the international emblem. I just wish we had a door. Wish we had a door that was kind of patinaed the same way the rest of the truck is, you know, but parts for these trucks are really hard to come by. You know, these are not sought after. A lot of people aren't building these, you know, Chevys and Fords. You could get anything for, but stuff like this, it's just, we're coming up empty, man. But today, see, I got some tools out. We got to figure out a gas tank situation. So this gas tank is rotted out. You'll see when I pull it out just how bad it is. So we got 2 bolts here. We got 2 bolts on the other side. Usually, you know, there's straps. There's 2 straps, but I don't know. They got some other kind of suspension situation going on here. I'm not really sure. But look at that. It is full. I'm just, you know.
Lean up all the way on.
That one actually came off. Now for the 2 bolts on the other side.
Ain't no boiling that gas tank out.
No, there ain't no boiling that out. Well, there's your gas tank. There's your neck. And here's probably a mansion for something for a long time. Even the bottom rotted out. So we're here at the junkyard trying to find ourselves a seat We found one right over here. I saved you about 30 or 40 minutes of looking and getting tools and whatnot, so we'll just cut right to the chase and get it out of here.
Oh, I'm trying to keep from ripping it. Hold on. You ready?
Yeah.
They got a wheelbarrow if you need.
Yeah, we're gonna need one to get all of our tools and crap out.
Dude, I like it. Yeah.
Them trucks were small anyway.
Yeah, that's for small people.
Yeah. Everybody was about 5 foot tall.
Everybody was about 4'8" and about to die from not eating.
Yeah, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Shove it in there. We'll figure out a way to bolt this to that, like that. And there's your seat. So Dad took the gauges out of the International. We're trying to figure out some kind of situation with them so we can get some of them to work. But the issue is all the gauges in this truck were electric. International was kind of ahead of their time in that respect. Most gauges, way even later years, were mechanical water temp gauge, mechanical oil pressure gauge. All the gauges in this truck were electric except for the speedometer, which had a cable. They all did. So here is Dad's solution to the gauge problem. It's pretty interesting. So here were the old gauges. These are all 6-volt positive ground gauges. There's nothing you can really do with these. So what Dad did was, here is the original gauge cluster. How'd you fix that glass?
Wasn't broke.
It wasn't broke? I swore it was broke. Okay. So what he did was, he took the original gauges out of it and he put some gauges that he had in the original holes. There's your water temperature gauge. There's your amp meter. Here's your oil pressure gauge. Here's the universal cable for the speedometer. And it'll all fit in the original mounts in the original hole. There's your speedometer. It turns from the transmission.
The odometer is working too.
The odometer? See it turning? Speedometer's working. That's awesome. Sure enough, it's counting the miles. Now we're moving on to the front windshield. This one was tricky. Getting it out of the truck, this frame, everything was rusted in place. This window really got hit hard. So with some heat and a screwdriver and a vice grip and some patience, we got every screw out except for 2 busted, which we'll have to drill out. And we had one piece of glass that was saved. We were able to take to the glass shop and use that as a template for both because they're the same piece of glass, just mirrored over. Now we're using this clamp to clamp the 2 halves of this frame together because it comes apart kind of, 50-50 in halves. And Dad had this idea and this tool, and it's way better than using a rubber mallet to try and get that frame together because you could shock the glass and break it. Okay, so the glass is in the frame. We're not completely out of the woods yet. This tool my dad had, I don't even know where he pulled this out of. I've never seen him use this ever in my life, but that's a lifesaver. And we were able to start all the screws. There's a bar that comes from this frame into here. Started the screws. We had to clamp it on this side, and we had to get a new screw for this side because the old one broke off. So this is what we were using inside the window frame. It's kind of like a sealer / vibration tape kind of thing. This is what it is. It's not sticky like tape on one side. It's just a rubber kind of strap. And your wiper. bolts will fall out of you.
When you get yours started, let me know.
Can you come up?
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, that wiper in the way?
It took a minute, but I finally got the top hinge nut started. Now I got to go inside the truck and do the bottoms. Cool. Let's see here. If we can get some. Nice. Nice, dude. Nice. Nice. Love it. Love it.
Man, this trip sitting in here with windows.
I saved him. I saw him.
Yeah, man, you gotta come out for a minute.
Isn't that sweet? It's so clear. It gives it a whole other look. Man, it's actually coming together. It looks like a truck, man.
Taking shape now. It's actually need a door.
Yeah, we need a door bad. Need a door. Today we're trying to mount the seat to the frame and get it in the truck. And what we're trying to figure out is how do we mount this seat to this frame, because this frame will bolt right up to the original holes. So we don't want to have to make an entirely new mount for that seat. So we're going to grind all these nubs off to try and get the frame off of the underlying frame so that we can try and bolt these two together. So these old seats came in two pieces, usually a bottom half and a top half. We didn't have the top half. We had the bottom half, which had zero upholstery on it. It was just springs and a board. And it would cost more money to have it reupholstered than to do it how we're doing it. And we don't even have the top half, so it doesn't even matter. So we're going to use some of the new brackets and some of the old seat framing and, kind of make a Frankenstein. It'll be legit, but it's kind of going to be a Frankenstein of both parts. I got the plasma cutter out now, cutting the excess off because we got an idea of what we're trying to do here. Here's the brackets that we cut out from the original brackets from the minivan. I had to cut the sides off of it with the plasma cutter and everything. And we'll be able to use these bars to mount it to the original seat frame, to use the original bolt holes to mount it in the truck. So we have the seat positioned on the frame where we want it. We don't have any bolts in it yet. What we're going to do, we have the welder out. We're just going to tack weld those black brackets to this frame so we know exactly where the seat should be, and then we're going to pull it out and then we'll bolt it up. Can do some more?
Yeah, I want to make sure that it holds.
We got to take up this space here, so we're going to take this bolt out. We're going to get a longer bolt, and this is 2 inches. We're going to get a 2-inch spacer, some longer bolts to hold up our seat, and that will be our seat. So here we are mating the two old and new together, bolting the new frame and the new brackets to the old frame that'll go in the original holes. So not bad. We think it's going to work fine.
Here, you get it.
Let's see here.
Nice.
Oh, I like that.
It's perfect.
It rakes back perfectly.
It rakes back perfectly. The way it the angle that you're on your steering wheels is good. Yeah.
The way you're looking pretty much out the center of the windshield.
Yeah.
$40 seat, can't beat it. You can shut that petcock now. Okay. Here's the old sending unit. So here's the piece. This screws into the block. The sending unit screws into here, and that's it. Alright, I think that's good. Don't want to go too crazy and break it. Now we're feeding the oil sending unit line through. I got it.
Alright, just pull it real slow so I can feed it.
This big oil sending unit bulb was screwed into the block, and then this wire went to the sending unit on the truck. So I took that off, and we put our own sending unit compression fitting in there with our plastic hose, which should go all the way to the gauge. Our fitting goes from there all the way through the firewall and all the way to the gauges right there up by the steering wheel. Now, the last gauge we got to wire up today is the amp meter. We got to run a 10 gauge wire from the amp meter down to the lug on the starter right there, and then from here to our power block here. So this wire is coming from the gauge. We'll hook it to the starter lug. So here is the wire coming from the other side of the amp meter. We went through that real quick. All we did was run this amp meter, and we used all that 10 gauge wire. And we got just about everything except our mother hooked up to this life support block. Alright. That's not good. That's good, it's charging.
There's our oil pressure coming up.
Oh, that was at 5 pounds. I believe the temperature gauge is starting to read. It's coming up just above 130. So all of our gauges, I do believe, are working. Alright, so we shut it off, and we want to see how fast it gets oil pressure once it's been off. Yes, yes.
There's not even enough there. It's rotten all the way up.
So here's the exhaust after we pulled it off. It's flanged up here, and then obviously it's rotted out, and then it's got pretty much one bend, and it just goes straight back. So we're gonna take this to the exhaust shop and just see if they'll make us up a flanged L-shaped bend that's about 6 foot long. It goes a little longer than that, and we're still gonna use our 3-inch pipe. Here you can see him changing the die out so he can expand a different size pipe to a larger diameter. Yeah, man, huge shout out to Discount Muffler for getting this done like super quickly. I didn't even think they were gonna get it done that day I came in. And also, I really appreciate them letting me film this process for the channel, you know, so to let you guys see kind of the process of how they're doing it. They didn't have to let me in their shop to film this, but I'm grateful that they did. This is Discount Muffler in Tucson, Arizona off Ina Road. If you're ever around here and you need exhaust put on a car, they do great work. We have our flange mounted and we have our exhaust down there. You see our new pipe in it 90s off, and you can see it right there going all the way back. So far this is the original way it was mounted, even through the original bracket, and then it ends right there. But instead of going out all the way through the back and being boring and all that, we had another idea. We're gonna 90 it off, and that 3-inch pipe we bought is gonna be our stack. We got the horseshoe mounts and everything, and we're about to drill the holes so we can mount this stack. And normally we wouldn't do this to just every truck and any truck. If this was like a, you know, preserved, untouched, kept in a garage or something like that, we wouldn't do this, obviously. But because of the condition of the truck, I mean, it's not hurting the value to do it, and plus we think it's really cool. So, you know, we're gonna do it. Alright. Okay. I'm just tacking up some stuff and mocking it all up. We have the pipe ran underneath. We got to connect the stack to the pipe that's mounted to the frame and the manifold and all that. We got our adapter to go from 3 to 2. We got our 2-inch 90 to go right here, like so. And then the magic sauce here to connect it to the truck is this flex hose. And the reason is that I'm using flex hose and not just like a normal bend is because you want a little bit of flexing, because the cab and the motor flex differently. So you don't want it all hard mounted to where it's prying against the exhaust manifold all the time, you know. That's not good. And so you put this flex hose in there, and you know, whenever they're kind of gyrating differently, it's not going to hurt anything. They do this on big rigs all the time, so. Now, got all our pipes off, ready to weld up permanently. Gotta get a good ground. You know we had to put a tractor flap on there. Wouldn't be complete without it, man.
Is it okay if I back up in the rock? Oh, okay.
I think the glass is good in there, guys. I don't think it's broke or anything.
Awesome. So I've been in talks with Patrick for a few months now about these parts. He said they were up in Utah at one of his other properties and that he couldn't get to it because the weather was really bad. So when the weather finally cleared up enough, he went up to his other property, got these parts, and brought them down to Lake Havasu, which is about 4 hours away from us, which is where we met him to grab them up. I appreciate it so much.
Yep, you're very welcome.
Now we can get to work. So this isn't going to be too bad, switching out this drum hub assembly and the backing plate. That's kind of just an R&R thing. But the door is going to be a little bit of a different story because if you notice, we don't have the hinges. But that's okay, we can work with that. Maybe while we got all this stuff apart, well, I'm gonna figure out why those brakes aren't working. They were working when we parked it. I got absolutely no brakes, so we're gonna have to figure out where that fluid went. Here's the steering linkage parts. So you can see the issue here, that our backing plate is only held together by a spider web. And if you look at Patrick's, completely good, no rust. I mean, no significant rust, nothing that's gonna stop us. And then here's the old drum. You can literally, it's rusted through, I mean entirely. You know, this truck was sunk in the ground for many decades, so. And then the other drum, great shape. That'll work for us. We gotta take this steering linkage off, get the backing plate off. This whole, all this is gonna have to come off sort of as a unit. How did I know? Oh boy. We can try heat. We'll soak it down and get old Faithful out. I think I'm running out of acetylene. Oh, no way. Yes. Had to get her good and hot, but give her a wash down. Oopsies. Yeah. Just in the nick of time. There we go. It's not good. Oh no. It's leaking. What the heck? See that leaking out of that dust boot? Dang, we're gonna have to address that. Ah. Look at that cute little spindle. Isn't that cute? I need more heat. I can't do anything else until I go get more gas because I gotta heat that up to get it apart. And I think it's bent. Let me show you. Here's the one I took off. I mean, it's pretty straight. I can see like I had a little bend in it, but you can see why we really needed to replace it because that is very pitted. You can see it's literally thinner, and you lose your steering. It's bent pretty bad, and I'm gonna have to use my old one of these to put that one back on. But yeah, all right, we're gonna see what we can do about this being bent. You know what? That actually came out a lot better than expected. I thought for sure I was gonna have to use my little torch kit there. Totally usable. You know what? Let's get some. I got an idea for redneck science. We still got a little bit of a bend. Ooh. There we go. There's maybe a absolute hair bit of difference there, but I might go at it one more time, but I really don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. So before I can put this steering linkage assembly on the truck, I got to switch over this link that goes to like basically the Pitman steering arm on the truck to the rest of the linkage using a lot of heat. Got it loose. Oh, there we go. Ow. Goes like that. Okay. Bingo, baby. Tighten her up. You know what's crazy is even though this is from another truck, if you've never put an old truck like this together or worked on them, you take another beat up part from another old truck, like like these parts, and interchange them. They interchange perfectly fine. But if you buy a brand new part from a book like LMC or something like that, and I've bought plenty of parts from them before. I built my 1950 GMC over there basically with that book. But the parts won't fit right, and you'll swear that because it's a brand new part that, oh, it'll fit better than, it'll fit better than an original part. It never does. It never does. I think I have a set of cotter pins in here somewhere that I bought. There you are. Something in here ought to work. This toolbox is probably around the same time as this International. 1/8 inch. Yeah. What I was thinking of doing, because remember earlier how when I pulled the dust boot off of this on that other wheel cylinder, fluid came out. So this is just a dust boot. It shouldn't hold fluid in it. What I might have to do is take this one off, hone it out. If it's in better shape, it could be the bore inside that's too pitted. Yeah, baby. We got full movement of the steering. Amazed at that. I can't believe it. These cups.
Well, it came from
Look at that.
maybe a more wetter place. You know?
Pretty amazed, actually. Yeah, might. Yeah, maybe.
Moist up there or something.
The rebuilt wheel cylinder all bolted on. I got the shoes bolted on. Now it's time to switch these hubs around. I got my homemade seal puller. Heated this up with a torch and bent it for some leverage. Probably switch these bearings around because we already packed these bearings and everything. So. Beautiful. Alright, these should go on without a hitch. I mean, they had the old ones to work with, so I'm not really anticipating many problems here. What's up?
Hey.
Got the U-bolts.
Did you?
Yeah. Though, like if you from the rust. Beautiful. Look at that. That shock starts trying to work. See it?
I can't believe that.
It's kind of hard to pull down. It goes up real easy and then it'd be kind of cool to rebuild one of these and see what's inside. So here finally is our driver's side door after 8 solid months of looking. And huge thank you to Patrick, a subscriber who had contacted Dad and me about this, and we finally were able to get it settled down. We're in a lot better shape than I thought we were. One, this door is in great shape, but this has everything in it, which I'm very happy about. So I'm glad that it's got everything. Has the window, it has the window regulator, which I have soaking right now in some penetrating oil. It has the latch on the door on this side. It has the latch, and it has the door handle on the outside, and all the linkages. So we'll be able to make the window roll up, and the window's not even cracked. Can you believe it? The window's not even cracked. So what we're doing now is we got to fix this door hinge before we can put it on. So I got these off a guy named Don. This is part of a section of the door that these bolts wouldn't come out, so he had to cut this section of the door off. So we got to get these bolts out. You know, anytime I have a truck or something, I join a Facebook group that involves those trucks. So I joined a 41 to 49 international group. I just posted in there, hey, does anyone have any door hinges that they'd like to sell? And a guy named Don, he said, yeah, I got a set. So I bought them and he shipped them to me, and there we go. There was none for sale on the internet. They don't remake them. And on top of that, these will look a lot better, because if we would have made them, we would have been fighting it for days, and they wouldn't have came out quite right. It would have just been a mess, and we're not really metal workers. I mean, it could have been done, but you know, this was a lot easier, even though we had to wait for a few days to get them.
Just keep pressure on it. Hold on, just keep. Quit taking it off of there. Ain't moving yet.
Oops. Whoa, buddy. Hey there. There we go. Beautiful.
Whatever you do, don't touch it.
Okay.
You'll be sorry.
Holes have been tapped. Should be able to put these hinges on and bolt them down. Need my...
Is there a top and a bottom, or?
No, I think they're the same.
Get a hammer.
Screw
it out, or come out with it a little bit.
It looks perfect to me.
It ain't.
Let's see if she... Oh, we're hitting something. We might have to do a little bit of adjusting, but it looks like it's hitting here. Huh. Oh.
Heat it. And heat it smooth.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes.
Looks good with that shut.
Man, it's just so friggin'...
Hitting now, I'll just bend it.
It's just hitting the whole inside railing here, you know? You can't do anything about it. I don't know. So there is no possible way the factory adjustments on the door or the cab are going to give us what we need to get this door on. So we took the pins out, we set the door on the truck and latched it where we want it, and we're just going to bend the hinges so the pinholes match up, and that's how we're going to do it. Not totally.
That it?
Yeah.
One. Getting there?
We will. There we go. Let's see how that works. There you go, baby.
Factory fix.
That's right. Look at that. Like a glove.
Factory fix. Hop in there and see if you can open it and shut it.
I don't have a handle.
With the I thought that there was. Look at that. That works.
There we go.
Something bad happens to that truck.